Like all the other panelists, he says he's an arbitrator of the Yoker's panel, to put it well. And of course, will be divided around he spent his exceptional knowledge in the subordinated domain. The second panelist, Eric Razak Bifani, the managing partner for Radio YAFA, I had known Razak since he was a relatively young man, just starting off. He's something of a meteor at the light chambers. Within 3 years, he belonged to the Attorney General's panel representing the government on important cases. He tired of life in Italy, moved to Dubai, became the passive reservation partner in Burmese in pace before they changed their leaders and their ways. Third of one planet is Nur CBD, Sylvester, and England, and partner in the teacher law firm of Cowell Bridge. I ought actually to address your forward he doesn't want on us, because Nur Saab was not just a solicitor, but a recognized Islamic scholar. Some of you make it, but that is the truly technical banks. Even have gone on your side, but it's not that this issue we have it working on it. Nur also practiced in the service push on this would stay Dubai, England, off to the Pakistan connection. We're very fortunate here to have President Ahmed Al-Ansari, who is an engineer in Doha, Qatar. I was going to try and summarize he is, but actually easiest way of doing it is just to go take his card and read the letters that he has after his been re-engineer, MSc, LNM, CCM, FCIOMB, FCMI, FAGN, MCIR. I think that says it all. Actually, the most important thing about this is he was a president of the Charter of the Streetball status in Qatar. And last but not least, I turned all the real Pakistani on our panel, Abhir Sanpudi, probably known to most of you, and requiring little introduction. He's qualified as a barrister, called by the bar at BK Spence, advocate for the High Court of Pakistan, and a partner in Bandari, the electric gas. He's been involved with different for significant commercial disputes and arbitrations and was a high start, and has experienced all major arbitral institutions, LCIA, ICIS, Ciarb, and before speaking years. It would be remiss if I was not able to mention that Sami is, of course, a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. He's on the panel of arbitrators of SART Arbitration Council, nominated by Young Pakistan, and I could go on. But I'd now like to turn the topic to higher, which of course is alternative dispute resolution. Now, dispute resolution, litigation, arbitration, going to the full of data, really has a very simple way. You want to get a binder and enforce an outcome. To non-voiders, the work of international arbitration is shrouded to a veil of mystery. We got an idea of that from one of the questions from the floor this morning, asking about whether or not they ought to specialize in international partners. I'm afraid that that's a biological misconception that arbitration is the sort of thing you see in movies with lawyers crowding around the local exotic countries, meeting with officials from foreign delvers and multinational corporations, and representing them before international tribunals, high-stakes cases. Of course, so you might forget if you thought that this concept was also one of those. But the reality is this. International arbitration is simply a method that is prestige, arising out of international rush ridiculous. And like all such matters, international arbitration is governed by contract and keys. And parties are actually looking out for fancy deep arguments. What they're really looking for is neutrality in the value. They're looking to have their parties and the deals kept confidential. They're hoping to get a specialist decision making, and they're hoping to get finality and enforceability. It's very all the symbol was that regrettant Pakistan is outminded most bureau. In French, every other major big country follows the law. It provides for all those countries that follow that system a generally similar, if not identical approach which makes it easier for activists to go from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, knowing what they have to deal with, knowing what the opinion has to provide, knowing what is expected parties in disposal of petitions, and so forth. And ultimately, Pakistan needs to ensure that as some state it gets the dog wobble word through. With that in mind, at Hamilus are going to discuss what has happened with Lodi, with international arbitration, and hopefully to see what Pakistan is doing well, but what ought to be doing better to make arbitration of estate that is international more accessible. Now, with that in mind, I spoke the best thing to do is to start here easiest all points, and that is seat of arbitration.